What's up, guys? It's Drums for Life 3 here, and this video is basically just a setup of my kit, how I record, and everything that goes into my videos. I just first of all wanted to say thank you to you guys. I hit 1,000 subscribers this weekend, which is incredible. So thank you guys for all the support, the likes, favorites, comments, shares. I really do appreciate all that. I read all the comments in the videos, whether I reply to you or not. I read them. So thank you. Alright, so I'm just going to start this video off with an introduction to my kit. I use a PDP X7 kit with a silver to blue finish. It's a great kit. You get a lot of variety. You get the high pitch rack toms, the really low pitched floor tom, all in one set, which is really awesome. So I can just do a lot with it. It's only like $850. I'm sure if you look it up on eBay, you could find a cheaper price. But it's a relatively low price for a great kit. Now, I use Remo Weather King heads, clear of course, and they're pretty good. I do like the sound out of them. I think I am going to change into a coated, series of heads when I get the chance, maybe like Evans or Aquarian heads. I'm just looking for a change. I like these, but I'm always just looking for a better sound, an improvement to my kit. So we'll see when I get those. On my bass drum, I use an Evans EMAD 2 clear head. It's a great sound. I really love the sound of my kick drum. Next, I'm going to take you guys through my cymbals, and I'll just take the camera and kind of zoom in on each individual cymbal, and then give you guys a bit of an overview of what that cymbal does and how it can be used. Alright, so first we have my 14-inch Zildjian ZXT Trashformer cymbal. Now, this cymbal has a sound somewhat similar to a China, but I'd say it's mixed with a splash, and it just kind of has a thinner sound compared to a China. I really like using it. It really matches with the splash. If I'm on a hi-hat, occasionally I'll just use that to accent it. I really think that's how it's best used. So yeah, I mean, monkey with it, however you want to. It has curved edges or ridges, so it has a really unique shape to it. So yeah, check that thing out. It's only like $100, so it's a somewhat cheap cymbal for a great addition to your set. Moving on, we have my 16-inch Zildjian medium thin crash cymbal. Now this thing, it's typically something you're going to accent something with. I wouldn't usually really use it as a beat cymbal. I'd say it's more for accenting. I've had this thing for like 2 or 3 years now. I've always loved it. Great cymbal. Alright, so here we have my 10-inch Zildjian Fast Splash cymbal. I really like this thing. It's a very quick sound. I'd recommend using it to accent something with the hi-hats. I use it with my Trashformer a lot. It really goes well together. So yeah, it is a very thin, small sound to it, but it works very well. Alright, so here are my Sabian 13-inch AX Fusion hi-hats. They have a very crisp, bright sound to them. I really like the look. They look very nice. So yeah, I'd recommend checking these out. I remember I got them used like a year and a half ago, and they still have an amazing sound to them. So yeah, check these out. They're great cymbals. Alright, now here is my 18-inch Zildjian A Custom Fast Crash cymbal. I gotta say, I really love the look of this cymbal. It's beautiful. It looks fantastic. It really shines. So it is. The sound is amazing too. It's very quick sustain because it's a fast crash. I'd recommend it for beats. If you're gonna try and use it as a like a ride, I'd recommend it. So it's a great cymbal. I recommend checking it out. Next we have my 20-inch Zildjian A Custom Ping Ride cymbal. I've had this thing for like 3 or 4 years. I still don't have a crack in it. So yeah, it's very reliable. The bell, it's great bell, fantastic sound. So yeah, great cymbal. We have my 18-inch Wuhan Handmade China. Now, I did crack this. A few years ago I didn't know it was supposed to be flipped, to give it this sort of look. So I kind of used it just, the regular way up. And unfortunately it cracked. So that sucks. But the good thing is that it's a China. It's supposed to have a trashy sound, so the crack doesn't really kill it too much, whereas a huge crack and a crash would just kind of destroy the cymbal. So I still make it work. I still love the sound. And there's my China. Next, I'm going to talk about the microphones I use to record my drums. Now, I bought a digital reference microphone pack for like $200, like about a year ago. And it's a cheap mic set. I mean, I got like a few tom mics. You got 2 overheads and a bass drum mic. I only actually use one tom mic on one of my floor tom. Everywhere else, it would just sound terrible. Like these mics aren't the best. Even with EQ, my floor tom still doesn't sound that great. But I primarily rely on my 2 overheads. And I'll zoom in. I'll show you guys what they look like. I rely on the 2 overheads to kind of give me a good sound. Because my tom mics do not sound that great. I do have a Shure SM57 microphone on my snare, which is about a $100 mic. It's a bit more expensive. My dad just happened to have it, which was awesome. So it's a bit more high quality of a mic. That's how I get a good sound into my snare. So I'd recommend getting a good mic for your snare and your bass drum, because those are 2 pretty important aspects, of the set. Other than that, I just kind of rely on my overheads, to get a good sound, and I got my 1 floor tom, which is mic'd, which is somehow enough. I don't know, I'm pretty, pleased with the sound of my toms. Although I think I am looking into, getting some good tom mics, so it's a bit more clear of a sound, and, you can hear it a lot better. Alright, so now that I've covered the mics I use, I'm going to show you guys how that audio is transferred to my mixer and then to my videos, of course. Alright, so as you can see here, each microphone is attached to a cable. Now these cables run to my mixer. Now if you guys have probably seen in the description of my videos, I use a PreSonus Studio Live 16.02 mixer, and basically the cords run up here and are inputted into right there. And then from the mixer, it is transferred via FireWire cable down to the computer. Now in the computer, I edit my videos in terms of audio using GarageBand. Now GarageBand's a very easy, simple recording software. Really like it, and I basically store all of my audio and my drum videos and stuff in this little passport. Now, for those of you who don't know, a passport is basically a way of storing memory. This particular passport stores 1.5 terabytes, and that's a lot of memory. So yeah, it's a very efficient way of storing data. So I'd recommend checking those out if you're ever making drum videos, because it requires a lot of memory. All right, so next I'm just going to show you guys how basically each individual channel can be edited. Now see, I have we have my bass drum channel here, and that is mono 2, so that's the second input of the mixer. So I'm not really using any effects here, but I have a compressor, bass drum compress. It's just one of the compressors they give you, and then I use a graphic EQ. Now, graphic EQ basically manipulates the sound into whatever you want it to be. So let me show you guys. It's basically just a bunch of dots and stuff that you can pull up and down, and it manipulates the sound. Now, I recently started doing this for my bass drum because I wasn't really satisfied with the sound I was getting from it. I was kind of dull, flat. So I was just one day, I recorded my bass drum, and I started just screwing around with these little dots. And it really helped. The sound is a lot better now. So yeah, I'd recommend if you ever try and record using a graphic EQ. I mean, it's a bit time consuming because if you don't get the right sound, you got to keep trying. But it's definitely worth it in the end. So yeah, definitely work on the EQ. That's a very important aspect of recording. I also use a visual EQ, which basically it's kind of like the same thing, but it's a preset, I think. It's just enhanced bass drum. So basically, how I record, I go to the red recording button, click it, and as you can see, it starts recording each individual track. It's very simple, very easy. This is why I really like GarageBand, because it's very simple, there's nothing too complex about it. And as you can see here, you've got the volume levels for each individual track. You can configure that type of stuff. I mean, there's the master track over here, where you can add, reverb, echo, all that good stuff that makes, the video, sound quality just so much better. So then when you're done, I stop recording, and I typically edit the audio and I cut it and I do all that stuff. And then when I'm done, I'll go to share, send song to iTunes, and I'll configure all this information. So yeah, that's how I record my audio. Alright, so I edit my video using iMovie, and I'll just start off. I import my video and it'll go into an event. You can see my latest drum cover is Now by Paramore. I believe I uploaded that a few hours ago. You guys should be able to see that. So here you have each camera angle, just all of it, not necessarily synchronized yet. So then what I do is I usually place the overhead, just all of the overhead, into the project, and I will place the music and I'll sync it up with the music. And so I get the music by going to this music bar, and I'll go all the way down and see now drum cover. So that's how I get the music. Alright, so then I had to synchronize the audio and the video just for that one camera angle. And then next, I'll cut off certain portions of the overhead, like I'll cut out a certain part. And then I'll go down to here and I'll look up, maybe I'll go to this camera angle and I'll find that part down here. And then I'll place that back up to here, and then I'll synchronize it, and then I'll synchronize the next part, and maybe I'll go down here and get another, or up here and go get another part, and I'll put that up there. And I basically just have to keep synchronizing everything manually. Being completely honest, it's a pretty exhausting process just because it takes so much work, and everything has to be perfect, because if one camera angle is screwed up, it's going to screw up the whole video. So it's a hard process. I mean, like I said, if you were going to do this with one camera angle, it's really not that hard just because you only have to synchronize one. But I use 3, I've even used 4 sometimes, so that's a bit tougher. Now here, I'm going to try and find a cover where I use the foot cam, which is Welcome to the Family. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let me just find it first. Welcome to the Family. I've integrated a foot cam into some of my covers now, and how you do that is on iMovie is basically you'll go down to, you see I've got the foot cam here, and just for the sake of the example, I'll copy a little bit of it, and I will drag it to here, and I'll go to Picture in Picture. Okay, I've modified my project, okay. And then this little screen pops up. Now you take this screen, I typically move it down here, and after that I just have to synchronize that angle with, the rest of the video. So basically that's it. I add different camera angles. Occasionally I'll use pictures of my drum set as like a title photo. Occasionally I'll just use a black screen. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, that's how I make my videos using iMovie. After that, I just go to the share button at the top of the screen. I'll go to YouTube, and I'll type in all the information. And after that, I am done, and it's uploaded to YouTube. So that's basically the full-length process of how I upload videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, so that's how I make my videos, start to finish. I'll leave some pictures of the cameras I use to record, the video. Probably after, I finish talking. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy the drum covers.